Hello and welcome to Movie Mandates. I'm Kelly,
And I'm Andrew.
and this is the show where my brother and I force each other to watch a movie based on a specific monthly theme. It is Nutty November. And on previous episode, we watched Brothers pick Pom Poko. And this time around, we got to watch my pick, Blockers. But before we get to start talking about that, since I got to choose this week's movie, it is only fair that brother gets to challenge me in a little segment that we call Trivial Trivia. All right.
All right, so blockers. When I
Mm-hmm.
think blockers, I think constipation.
I've heard.
And when I think constipation, I think movies. And I think, you know what, there's not a ton of people constipated in movies, but there are a fair number of films where people take a poo. So name me three movies that
Massive
feature a
poos.
scene where someone's taken a poop.
Yes. Like just in general, or like there's what's his name in Dumb and Dumber
Yeah,
in the big
Jeff
pink
Daniels. Yeah,
Jeff Daniels scene in
that was the first thing that immediately came to mind is that's
well,
dumb.
yes. And then in Not Another Teen Movie, the girl who plays fake Sydney, because Not Another Teen Movie is Scary Movie and a few of those other ones.
Mhm.
There is an absurd lady pooping restroom scene in that one.
I'll have to take your word for it. I didn't see it.
Don't, don't, don't,
Which is a
don't.
shame because I miss the Zucker brothers era of spoof films
Yeah,
like
that did die
Airplane
down.
and stuff.
That
They tried to revive that in the early 2000s with Scary Movie, Not Another Teen Movie, Epic, and they're almost entirely unwatchable garbage, and that makes
yeah,
me sad.
yeah, yeah, but I do like the Lee what no I was gonna say Liam Neeson, Leslie Nielsen. Li- Little different careers those two have. But those were good spoofs. I liked those. Okay. I'm I'm thinking I'm thinking about well, wait. Isn't there is it in the movie or is it just in one of the cartoons that Cartman takes a big old deuce? Is that in the movie?
Well,
Bigger, longer,
Mr.
uncut?
Hanky is a character. He's just a sentient turd, but I don't I don't recall anyone pooping in the South Park movie.
Okay, so there must have been a
I don't
okay.
even think Mr. Hanky is in the South Park movie. Maybe as a cameo. I can't really. Oh no, wait. Do they kill no, Chef doesn't die in that movie. That's one of the episodes.
Yeah, that's an episode. That's later. Okay.
I don't think so. I don't remember.
That's okay. No, I'll move on. That's fine. Um, let's see. There is, oh man, there's got to be like prank movies where someone like poops in their toilet and doesn't flush or something strange like that. Or ones where like I can think of ones where they like poop in the tank and they call it a upper decker and I can't remember what movie that is. And I think I swear to goodness it sounds like a um what's his name? What's his name? Will Ferrell. I swear it's got to be one of those movies. Like
Yeah,
old school.
something like that. I for what that is.
Yeah, and I'm like, I know that they do. Like, I left
Actually,
him an upper.
I can't. I think I just thought of one. It
Oh,
doesn't they do that in this movie? But I'll just
yeah, look it up for yourself.
I'm just writing it down because I have a list of things because I was like, if I have to be able to name at least
Yes, of
six
course.
before I can challenge you to off the cuff.
You do three. Um, is there one? No, that's something about Mary is just peeing. He just pees, and then he catches his balls in a zipper. That is something
Oh,
about
there's
Mary,
something
right?
about Mary. Yeah, he's peeing at the
Yeah,
time.
that's a lot of rest. I'm like, all this restroom stuff because there's restrooms. You watch someone pee in Empire Records, which is great. That's Robin Tooney. Not that it's great that we watch her pee. I'm just saying you do. Um,
No, never saw that.
Empire Records for the amount of times that I watched it. Well,
I
Brittany Ryan and I
I
watched it.
was within the vicinity when it was on. I've seen parts of it, but I don't think
Sure,
I've
sure,
sat down and watched the whole thing.
sure, sure. Um, oh, no, that doesn't work either. I was gonna say Austin Powers with Arnold, Tom Arnold, but
Yeah, he's technically not shedding.
he's not.
he's,
Dang.
he's drowning somebody in a someone.
Maybe
I
Tom
thought of
Arnold.
that one too, and I was like, well, although he did go in there to poop.
Yeah, I mean, yes, because he didn't go to urinal.
Yeah,
Urinal.
he went into a stall to have a seat, so must have been what he was doing.
Oh my God. Let's see. Hold on. I can there might be another one that comes into my head. That's really that's funny that that came to your head too.
Yeah, well, I mean, I actually thought of another movie, but it's a deleted scene, so I'm like, I would give you credit if you thought of it, but
It's so funny because I'm actually thinking of a lot of uh TV shows, which I'm like, why is this a theme in
why are
TV
people
shows?
pooping so much on TV?
I'm like, this is very strange to me that this is like a TV thing. Like I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then I'm like, of course, like I think to myself, why would someone be using the restroom? I'm like, okay, are there food poisoning scenes in movies? Is there something like, so I'm like doing that kind of like deductive reasoning. I'm like, do I remember someone sweating? Is there a sweaty moment? And that's what brought me to the that one. But I'm like, what are other sweaty? You're making me think of interest. I'm going down a very interesting path here. um, there's got to be some Italian movies, not about their food. That doesn't say anything about their food. It just means, the mafia movies of yore. Did anyone
Yeah,
poison somebody
see what country this movie is from. I'm not
that they
sure.
had to, they're poisoning someone like, oh, something in my digestive
As
tract.
I think it might be Italian.
Oh,
Yes, it is.
well, Schindler's List, they hide in a porta potty full of shit, but like, you don't watch. I'm like skating around it. So the one that you found is
Is actually it's an Italian film, yeah.
amazing. Told you there's gonna be an
I
Italian.
wasn't sure. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it is, and I just checked, and it is. And I've never seen it, so it could be wrong. It does involve poo. I don't know if it involves anyone pooing. Because otherwise,
Yes.
you could talk about like pink flamingos or
Oh,
Caddyshack
yeah. Or what was
or
that one that one you just said?
Caddyshack. It's either Caddyshack or Caddyshack 2, where there's like I don't know, an Almond Joy or a Snickers bar floating in the pool, and they're like, oh no!
Oh, I've never seen that
Candy bar
movies.
floating.
Yeah.
Caddyshack 2 is almost unwatchable. Caddyshack 1 is bad, but it has a lot of funny people in it doing their shtick. Like Rodney Dangerfield and Bill Murray. They're all really funny performers, but the movie's pretty garbage.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. You're going to have to accept it.
Oh, okay. Not when I've
No. Well, Dodgeball. Have you seen
I
Dodgeball?
haven't seen it.
Okay. So I'm going to set the scene for
I'll
you.
just pick a movie Andrew hasn't seen and just poop into
No.
it.
It's a hilarious scene. So it's near the end of the movie of Dodgeball. And Vince Vaughn's character walks into his hotel room, and Ben Stiller's character is sitting on the couch in the hotel room, and he's there to bribe him to get out of the dodgeball tournament. I have volleyball in the brain. So he's there to bribe him. Well, his muscle is in the bathroom at the moment when LaFleur, who is played by Vince Vaughn, walks in. So he walks in and sees Ben Stiller's character, and then you hear the toilet flush, and the muscle guy comes out of the bathroom, and what's his name? Ben Stiller's character says, "Sorry, Laser's been having some digestive issues," and Vince Vaughn's character goes, "Dude, close." He goes, "Can you close the door, buddy?" And the muscle guy goes, and he goes, "It's for all of us, man."
Okay.
Because you hear the flush, they mention it, he exits the bathroom, and they discuss the smell. So there's obvious.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't. So I'm counting.
Okay. Let me give you some hints for some of the ones
Yes, please.
I thought of.
Yes.
It's directed by Kevin Smith, and it's not the poop monster in Dogma. Or the poop monster in
is it
Science.
Is it because in Clerks she has sex with a dude on the toilet? Was he pooping and had a heart attack?
I mean, he might have been pooping while and had a heart attack pooping. I mean, possibly. It's not really clarified. That's a good theory though. It's not the one I was thinking of.
Oh, okay. Okay, thinking. I don't.
Tell me which Kevin Smith movies you've seen, because if you
I was just about to say, I'm like,
let me see if I can go in order here.
Yeah, go in order, because
Mallrats.
That's the one where they're like, "Oh my God, his laces got caught on the elevator. There's so much blood."
I don't remember that specific joke, but that could be from Mallrats.
That's from Jason Lee.
Okay, Clerks.
Yes.
Chasing Amy.
Yes.
Dogma.
Yes.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
No.
Jersey Girl.
No.
Zach and Mary Make a Porno.
No.
Okay, it's Zach and Mary Make a Porno.
Oh, poop.
Zach and Mary are making a porno, and one of the actors is like, she says, they're like, "Hey, are you okay? Can you shoot today?" And she says, "Yeah, I'm just really constipated." And they're like, "Are you sure you can shoot today?" She says, "Oh no, yeah, anal sex just loosens me right up." And so later in the scene, they're shooting the scene, and someone's getting the cameraman's getting a very creative angle, is laying on the floor under them. Something startling happens where one guy pulls out, just drops right all over his face.
Oh my God.
So
Yes.
let's see. There's a series of horror movies that involve pooping, and there's 3 of them.
Leprechaun.
No.
Really? There's 3 of them.
It's a German mad scientist has a science project.
Oh, Centipede of the Humans.
Human Centipede, yeah. So you could have just said Human Centipede 2, and
oh, that's true. Yeah. Centipede of the Humans.
Kristen Wiig is in it, and she wears a pink dress.
Oh yeah, Bridesmaids.
I've never seen it, but I hear
that is a
big explosive diarrhea scene.
Yes, that is accurate.
Yeah.
What you just said.
Let's see. Team America World Police, one of the puppet sex scene, there was a scat gag that was cut
You
out
did tell me that. I did know. I think that
not in the movie anymore. In Friday the 13th, the 5th one, I think that's the final chapter. No, 4th is final chapter. 5 is New Beginnings. There's a guy who's killed while in a latrine. Well, actually, no. I think he gets. I think he pulls up his pants without wiping and then runs out because Jason's menacing him. But he's definitely there, and he's singing "Ooh baby, ooh baby." His girlfriend's outside cooing at him too, and it's like, well, they're in a very healthy long-term relationship with each other while one of them's pooing. That's how you know.
In a porta
if it weren't
potty.
for Jason Voorhees, these two would have had a long, happy future together.
I truly believe they would have made it.
Actually, it's not. That's the one that it isn't technically Jason Voorhees. It's the father of some guy who gets killed at the beginning of the movie. Anyway,
Oh.
the one I was thinking, the Italian movie is Salò or 120 Days of Sodom. Um, I don't know if
Oh.
anyone actually poos in the morning movie, but there's a lot of poo in the movie. I
Ah.
think Borat, or at least one of Sacha Baron Cohen's Borat movies, has him
Yes, like
going to
behind
the
a
bathroom.
bush or
I
something.
think he like puts it in a bag and says, "Hey, I like he's in people's house and he's like, I pooped in this bag. Where should I put it?"
Yeah.
Right. I that was in the trailers. So let's see. Also, if I'm remembering correctly, I've only seen the movie once. It was 20 years ago. I think American Pie has a scene where I think it's Stifler is has explosive.
Shipwreck, yes, because
Someone's like
yes.
hiding in the shower or something and hears the whole thing and some
Well, what his actual like one of his quote unquote friends, he nicknamed Shipwreck because he refuses to go to the bathroom at school.
right.
So he'll go home at lunch. And so
Gives him a
he
laxative.
gives him a laxative. And
Yeah.
so like there is one of those, and then he pays him back. So like they both have a
Right. And isn't like one
I
of the
don't
girls he's
know about
crushing on him
that
like
part.
hiding in the shower or outside the window or and hears the whole thing and it's embarrassing. I'm trying to
That I don't know. I
yeah.
think there was something else about that. That happened. I don't know if it was that part. I don't know if it was because of
Yeah.
that part, but like, yeah, but yeah, no, I do recall. Okay, that's funny. American Pie, yeah.
So anyway, lots of movies with people pooping in them.
Wow, that's interesting. There is a lot of them.
And
That's
wait, the advertising speaking of Leslie Mann, I think her name is.
yeah.
Speaking of the advertising campaign for This Is 40, had her brushing her teeth and I think Paul Rudd's sitting on the toilet behind her in the bathroom. I think that was the poster for the movie. Don't know if that actually happens in the movie because I didn't see it, but
But there you
um
go.
in blockers, I don't think anyone takes a poop, but John Cena does explode beer out of his bottom at one
Yep.
point. So,
On to Ian long last name's face.
yep,
Starts with a B. Think there's a Z in there.
it's long. I said,
A
uh,
lot of vowels, a lot of consonants. I can't. I even if I was looking at it, I don't think I could pronounce it. Mainly because
uh,
I don't
it's
think.
Ike, isn't it?
Oh, it's Ike, not Ian.
Ike Barinholtz,
Barinholtz. There you are.
who's an actor I've seen plenty of times. I never knew what his.
He's everywhere. He is everywhere. He's in a lot of I recognize him from a lot of TV. I watched the Mindy Project. I liked the Mindy Project.
You know who I'm realizing is actually been doing a lot more work than I realized? Catherine Newton. I've
And
just
she
noticed she's
is
been in a lot. She plays the Leslie Mann's kid. Uh,
oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, she was very
she's in
familiar
Freaky, that body swap horror movie, which I didn't
with
see.
with what's his face?
Vince
Vince
Vaughn.
Vaughn that I was just talking about. Yeah.
She's in well, she was the Cassie in the Ant-Man 3.
Yep.
Um, she's just apparently she's just been working. She's the one of the young it actors for the last 6 7 years. So, and
But
I've
I
seen almost none of her movies.
yeah, well, I didn't want her to be Cassie. I didn't understand why they had to recast Cassie.
I, they didn't. My only guess is I doubt it was a scheduling issue. Is most likely Catherine Newton has more name recognition than
Yeah.
whoever played adult Cassie in Endgame, which is that's kind of a shame because I mean I bet that actor was like super excited. Oh man, I get to be Ant-Man's
Yeah.
kid in the I forget what the Cassie Lang's character name is, but the superhero name is. But it's like, no, we're hiring someone more famous than you. It's like, oh well, that kind of hurts my feelings, honestly.
Yeah, that's a little well, sad. But yeah, I don't know the other two girls though, but I really like them. I should open up
No,
the browser.
I thought they were quite good. Geraldine Viswanathan and Ramona Young, I guess. Yeah, I don't know them either. I don't think I've seen them in anything either. So
Miss Swanathon. Yeah, she was pretty. Well, they're both beautiful, but like, I was like, I haven't seen them, and I was like, look at them, they're so pretty and they're so cool. Where'd they come from? Why aren't they in more? And I like the woman who played John Cena's wife. I've seen her in a lot of things, and I've always enjoyed seeing her.
Sarah You Blue. Oh, that's a cool name.
Yeah. I can't even tell you what else I've seen her in, but like whenever
I loved Gary Cole and Gina Gershon showed up in the
oh my Gina
Yes.
Gershon, man, what a sexy
adults.
beast.
Yep.
Always has been.
Why is she
Always will
not
be.
getting older?
I just don't know the answer to that.
How has she been 30 years old for the last 30 years?
Oh yeah. Because like I looked at her and I was like, that can't be Gina Gershon because I've now outaged her. I was like, how
I'm going to be as pretty as Gina Gershon back in the 90s, and now we're in the 20s. Like, wait, how did I get older than her? How'd that happen?
How did I get older than her? Like, that's so crazy, but like, good on them. I love it. I love it so much. But yeah, no, it was great. Ow. I just kicked the bottom of my desk. At the top of my foot. Like, that really hurt.
Was it the pinky toe?
No, it slid. So like the bottom of my desk, I just can't get comfortable. I don't know why. Like, I'm in just nothing makes me comfy right now. I need to crack my back because I missed the Cairo today for reasons. And I just broke a nail, like literally just now on camera, broke a nail. There it is. But no, the bottom of my desk, my foot just slid under. So lockers, very interesting. Yes, I was very creative with the theme. I felt, but it was
like Pom Poko. There were actually nuts in this movie.
There were actually. I was like, okay, then there they.
Nutty November.
Nutty November. Here we go.
They're out proud too.
Very like he turned. I was like, well, there we go.
Nailed that theme.
The thing that I find so interesting about this movie, we can talk more in depth about it, mainly because we have time to do so.
For anyone who doesn't know, basic premise. Three different parents have three kids, and the kids are going to prom, and they're like, "We're gonna lose our virginity tonight, huzzah!" And the parents get word of this, and they're like, "Not on our watch, little missus." And that's the movie.
So they go to try to cock block their
daughters, right?
There you go. Yeah.
No wonder she never found her electric toothbrush if she's keeping it in her underwear drawer. Who does that?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a funny switch for a joke, but it's like
it was funny, but it was also interesting. So the thing that I found really kind of interesting about this movie is as much of the hijinks that these kids got into. Like, by the way, okay, well, first off, I don't know. I didn't go to prom, so I have no basis for comparison.
I don't even know if my school had a prom. That's how much I didn't go to prom. I don't even know if there was one.
Yes, there was.
Oh, was there? Okay. I hope those who went had fun.
There absolutely was. You just weren't.
I wasn't invited.
No,
I didn't just not go to prom.
You just didn't. You didn't care about anything that was.
I did not give the slightest shit.
Your extracurriculars weren't your bag.
When they did pep rallies, okay, everyone, let's meet in the gym, and we're gonna do whatever we do at pep rallies. Be peppy. I went home.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
I'm like, I don't want to be here anyway.
No, I know.
If I'm not sitting if I don't have to sit in a class learning things, I'm going home and going to watch Ninja Turtles or something.
Yeah, you were such a schools for school person.
Yeah, I mean, I had extracurricular activities. I did a lot of.
I know. I didn't say you didn't.
But yeah, it's like, no, I don't give a poop about your football team or whatever you're pep rallying. I don't care. That would just bore me. Going home by. And surprisingly, or not, no one ever told me no. They're like, all right, you gonna tell him no? He looks mean.
Yeah, he's gonna yell at me. Yeah, so again, I don't have a basis for comparison, but I did go out in
Mhm.
high school and I did go to parties and I did hang out with my friends. And this wasn't it. Like,
I have
maybe it's because we lived in a not rich area.
maybe, yeah,
Maybe it's
because I
because
mean
there
this,
weren't mansions just
yeah, I
10,
mean
20 minutes
these kids
away.
go to prom, but it's not like held at a school
Yeah.
gymnasium.
Well,
It's like,
not most proms are. A lot of proms are held at a lot of proms are held at like a banquet center
oh,
or
okay.
like I
Harry
mean
took
that
place in the gymnasium.
yeah,
Harry wasn't too good for the gym.
a lot are
They're
in
they're at that center, and then they move to a house party,
yes.
gigantic mansion house party, and
Yes.
then apparently they bought out the entire floor of a hotel somewhere. It's
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like and time again kind of nebulous in this movie that I felt like they were at prom proper for like an hour only.
At best.
And then and like because the friend was like, oh my god, this is getting so boring, let's go. And I'm like, you
For
guys
20 minutes.
just got there. Or are you saying that for us, the audience, to realize to set the scene that you have been there longer? Or like so like the time like and yeah, so time was kind of strange. And they
Well, I mean,
got into
they did have to move locations, otherwise the parents wouldn't be able to chase them all over town.
yeah, so they had to be quite nimble quite often and move around. So I will say that. But and there was a lot of drugs in the movie and a lot of drinking in the movie, and that was another thing that like although I was aware of them, they weren't as everywhere. I don't think. Again, our
Although I
upbringing
really
was
did
different.
enjoy the fact that uh was it Kayla's date? The guy with the drugs. Um,
Yeah,
they call him the chef or
the
something,
chef.
and he's like literally a chef who makes these incredibly elaborate confectionaries just laced with
Yes.
cocaine or whatever. I actually love the fact that this guy's really proud of his craft.
Oh, and I love how he talks about it, and he's like, "All right, here's what I did." Like he's very,
Glazed with a
oh
reduced
yeah,
raspberry thing. It's like,
he's
huh?
so proud.
I mean, yeah, that's fun.
No, I liked his character. I liked it. I thought it was very fun. I liked so the point that I'm trying to get at is throughout all like the craziness and to me at least a lot that I'm like that doesn't happen. Um and even for as much crap that they get into, like it is kind of semi a wholesome movie in kind of a weird sort of a way.
Yeah,
Like no one really gets hurt. Like nothing really bad happens. Like even though Kayla like ends up doing a lot of drugs accidentally, kind of sort of, like she's fine. She can handle it and
they all
she
vomit.
actively they all vomit, but she actively makes the choice herself and
Yeah,
like you see her in other situations that no one is making her make it like like
right.
she is has great control over like nope, I am actively making this choice. And so it's just like
And two of the three actively change their minds and
yep.
don't
And the
receive any pushback or bullshit about it.
yeah, yeah, it was and there was like okay that so it's like it truly was just kind of like pretty sweet and like some
Yeah,
of the
it's really a movie about
it's
parents
letting go.
letting go of their kids so they can leave the nest.
Yeah,
That's it, really.
you gotta believe that the 17
In
slash
some
18
cases,
years
making a connection before they leave the nest.
yeah, but like trust that trust that what you did got through maybe. I mean but you can't trust that you did what got through like it And I get it as someone who, I get it. I'm like, I don't think they're listening to a thing I've said. How can I trust that they're gonna make a good decision when they leave? But
See, later in life, when you screw up in the exact way I'm describing now, you're going to remember that I was right and you should have listened.
yeah, basically,
And
basically.
don't try to hide this from me, but I'll
I'll
know
know.
and
I'll
I'll
know.
rub it in. I
Yeah.
will tell you I told you so.
I don't care how old I am at that moment and how like successful or whatever it is you are at that moment. I'll still know. I'll know.
I will gloat. I will lord this over
And
you.
I will happily pat myself on the back
Mm-hmm.
and tell your significant other, whoever that person may be, or whatever situation that you're in, I'll let them all know that I told you so. um
So
yes.
it's a raunchy comedy,
Oh, it is a
but
raunchy comedy.
but all of the characters are just kind of adorable and charming in their own ways. I mean, the kids are actually extraordinarily well adjusted,
Yes.
considering their parents are neurotic.
Yes.
Well,
Absolutely.
John Cena's wife is grounded as hell, but
The best moment of the whole movie, and it's because it's 100% something that has kind of like sort of happened here, is when John Cena and his child Kayla, she gets on her dress and they do the chest bump because that's just what they've done. And he goes, "We can't ever do that again because she has boobages." And it's like, because the kids like to snuggle with him and they'll like just hold him on, his back. So he told me the first time he felt, he's like, "Oh God, one of my kids has." He's like, it was the weirdest feeling. He's like, "I hated it. I was like, nope,
what
we
is
can't snuggle."
that?
He's like, "Nope, that's nope, can't.
No, you got to hug like Andrew does now.
Gotta
Like,
put a pillow between us." Yep.
yep, one arm, angle away, as little physical contact as possible in a hug.
Yeah.
The only proper way to hug.
Like hugs are so like that's the thing now. When did that become the like new like norms, like the new like zero?
But
Like that's like hugs.
uh-huh.
When you met someone, quote unquote, back in the day, I don't know, but like when you met someone originally, it was a handshake. No one shakes hands anymore. That's
Stolen
like
hugs on a first meet. That's weird.
everyone hugs on a first meet. And I don't understand. I'm like, why? Why? Why is this all of a sudden you the baseline? I go in with the hand.
I didn't go for this.
People look at it like I have insulted them. And I'm just like, you don't know me.
What do you want a butt squeeze too? We just
Like,
met.
I, no, I don't, you could smell. What if you rub off on me?
I've been
Like,
sweating today.
no, that's true. I could smell. Like, I'm not always a
It's
daisy.
summer. It's hot.
Dude,
I've
I live
got
in
the fan,
Missouri.
but it can only do so much.
My gosh. But anyways, so yeah, it was a very sweet movie. And it is definitely one of those that watching it as a parent is kind of an interesting watching anything as a parent.
I particularly love the fact that we have our three parents here.
Yes.
And one of them is the pariah that no one likes him. He's an asshole. He's casually racist. He's
That's the best. He's like something Asian, and he's like, "You do know my wife is Indian," and he's like, "Yeah, but I'm talking about Asians." And he's
Asian.
like, "Indians are Asian," and he's like, "Oh, but you know what I mean when I say Asian," and he's like, "I can't even
Like,
talk to you."
yeah, he's not abusively racist. He's ignorantly racist.
Yep.
He's just a self-centered dipshit, and has never cared enough about things other than himself to learn how to person, really. But he has it more together regarding his kid than Leslie Mann
Oh
and John
yeah.
Cena do.
Oh yeah.
He's the
That's
one
what's
who's
so funny.
like, guys, this is a terrible idea. Don't do that. Our girls are adults now.
Yeah.
They will hate the hell out of us if we do this. Don't do. And most of the first half of the movie is him chasing after them, trying to get them to stop.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I particularly love the fact, even his daughter can't stand him, but he finally, he's in the back seat with them. They're trying to find the kids, and he tells them, he's like, yeah, she's just with this kid Chad with the
He's the beard. Yeah.
fedora, the
Yeah.
milady fedora, and he is a sweet kid anyway. I mean, he is a dipshit, but he's a sweet kid, all
Yeah.
told. Um, and he's like, my daughter's gonna make him. The only reason he goes along with this is because he knows his daughter's gay.
Yeah.
Like, she thinks he's afraid she's being peer pressured to do something that she doesn't want to do. That's why he's there. And there's a lovely scene where John Cena and Leslie Mann are asking, is like, your daughter came out to you? He goes, hell no, she never talks to me. It's like, well, then how do you know? It's just because she's my daughter. I know.
I loved that scene because
Yeah,
I thought the same thing. I was like, that's awesome.
this guy is a self-centered asshole, but he is a person and he does care about his little girl. He's
Yeah.
just an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah. But I thought that was so, I thought that was so cool when he said that. He's like, of course, she came out. No, she's,
Hell no, she never talks to me.
yeah. I was like, but that's my kid. Like, duh.
I,
But
have I've been in her room. I've seen the posters she has on her wall. She's totally gay.
yeah.
The set designer knew it.
Yeah.
The set designer understood the assignment.
There you go. There you go. It's like, you want Lucy Lawless where?
Isn't she watching Xena at some point? Or
Yeah, that's why I say that, because she was doing a clip art of Xena or something, and I'm like,
oh, right. You know what was funny is the kids the kids are like in the lunchroom cafeteria at school or something like that, and not Kayla. What's the Ramona? No, and no, that's the actor's name, right? Shit. Angelica. Um, right. So she makes a Lord of the Rings reference.
yeah,
And the other two have no idea what the hell she's talking about. I'm like, oh, come on. And then I thought about it. I'm like, wait, when this movie came out in 2018, these kids are 18. They were born in 2000. Okay, they would have
yeah,
been babies when Lord of the Rings came out. All right, fair enough that they would have had to have, by the time they were like teenagers and might have been really interested in Lord of the Rings, those movies would have been over a decade old. So,
yeah.
okay.
Boo. I know. I
Oh,
know.
this mortality is going to be the death of me. It's going to be the death of us all.
Yup. That is correct. That it is.
So this
Yes.
movie
So,
obviously operates in a heightened reality.
doesn't it though?
Yes. Uh, and for the most part, I think it straddles the line of heightened reality in order to do funny gags that we can laugh at, but still being believable within the rules of its own universe. Like
Yeah,
when
sure.
our parents drive into a ditch and the car stands on end, and they're like, okay, on the count of three, everyone lean back, and it just falls forward anyway, but it just softly rolls forward. And then like 20 minutes, well, not that long, but 6, 7, 8 minutes later, after Ike Barinholtz gives his big speech about, it's like, I didn't cheat on my wife, she was an abusive person and she stopped talking to me and I moved on and I just never talked about it because you guys never call me and never ask me about stuff. And then the car just explodes. They're outside, they're trying to get an Uber and the car just explodes. They're like, what?
I love that scene because he's like, driver, he's like, the
Oh,
driver
Horatio's
is
still
48
20
minutes
away.
away. And then like it explodes and he goes, oh, look, guys, he's 42 minutes away.
Yeah. And then the next scene they're getting out of a car. It's like, thanks, Horatio, or whatever the driver's name is. So there's a lot of stuff like that I thought worked really well, but there were a couple things in the movie that I think pushed reality a bit too far that pulled me out of the movie going, oh, come on. No, no one would even these characters wouldn't do that.
All right, go.
Um, uh, but that said, well, let me describe it. For example, the girls are very loud with their raunchiness, which is fine, except
Very
they're very
loud.
loud with their raunchiness in very public places like the school cafeteria.
Yes. Okay,
And I'm
yes.
like, might want to temper that down a little bit.
Yeah, that's not something like I would agree with that.
You know, one
I
of
would
them,
very much.
they're out and about. Tonight I'm gonna get my crotch nuzzled.
Yeah, basically,
Yeah,
she was
okay.
like, "This happened," and you're just
It's
like,
like, okay.
"Okay."
I mean, the end of the movie where she's drunk and stoned, okay, but when they're in like the school cafeteria, I'm like, you guys are like among all your peers. There's teachers there. I don't know. Kids, back in my day, we would have been a little quieter. Um, the butt beer thing, that the John Cena's character would have been just like, no, no, just no. I don't care how much that kid pisses me off. No, no.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was funny, and I love me some John Cena, and I love his facial work, and
Oh,
I mean that
he's
not in a
hilarious.
plastic surgery sort of way.
Yeah.
I
Great
really
comic
do.
tonic, great comedic actor. Not the rangiest actor I've ever seen, but
He
he
does what
does
is
one
needed.
thing very well, and he's very
Yes, he does what is needed. And I was dying laughing during that scene, but I agree with you wholeheartedly. The whole time I was like,
it's like
this
funny
would
scene
never,
would not have happened. I don't
because
buy this for a minute.
they would have investigated it so much more. They would have
But
watched it go into that other little
yeah,
boy's
yeah.
bottom, like that. Yeah,
But
but I still laugh
but
my.
it's still funny. And it's thanks to the actors that are just selling the shit out of all of
Oh my
this.
god, those three were hilarious together.
Mhm.
Hilarious together.
Another one that same kind of problem is when John Cena is breaking into Gary Cole and Gina Gershon's home to find the address of where the kids went.
Yeah, how did he not notice people walking around?
Well, that I'm less concerned with that because Gary Cole and Gina Gershon are playing naked, blindfolded grab ass. They're just essentially Marco Poloing throughout the house while naked and blindfolded. Um, but what's his name? Hunter, the deadbeat dad character, he comes in and somehow just whips off his clothes like Cosma Kiryu yanking off his entire suit
Yeah,
jacket and
it
yakuza.
was really strange.
And
And
I'm
she
like, how did
starts,
he manage to do that? Because Gina Gershon thinks she's feeling up her husband, but she's actually feeling up Ike Bartholomew, whatever his name is. Um,
Bartholomew.
and so she starts cupping his balls, and he's like mouthing over to John Cena. He's like, "You got to cup his balls so he feels what she's doing to me." He's like, "No." And there's a whole sequence of him mouthing stuff to him, and it's entirely
And
subtitled.
it's subtitled, yeah.
Funny. And if you think about it, all the characters are standing in there in complete silence for about 35 seconds. It's like, okay, this doesn't work, but it ends up being funny. You know, it still doesn't make any sense. I don't
Nope.
know how he got all of his clothes off that
Nope.
fast or that he'd be in there.
And how'd he get in there? How'd they
Yeah,
get out
I
of
don't think
there?
they knew how to end that scene because it's just like, cut, next scene, whatever.
Yeah. I thought the same thing, and again, I laughed, but I agree. I was like, why are you in there? And why is this? Huh. And then that's another time where you see some good old ball
Balls.
squeeze.
Yep.
Um, I will tell you my biggest problem with the movie, and this is because of who I am as a person.
Okay.
And there are certain things that I can't get past.
Hmm.
There is an entire backseat of vomit.
Half of
That
which is computer generated, I think, or weirdly comped, one or the other.
very strange, very strange. And then they go to a mini mart
Yeah, they seem to go to like a AM PM or 7-Eleven or a gas station convenience store to get changes of clothes,
Yeah.
which
And they're
I've
like,
seen precious few gas station convenience stores that sell clothing.
and they're like
Maybe a souvenir t-shirt or a hat or something.
nice
Clothes.
pieces of clothing. Like they're all wearing different full outfits somehow and like have their clothes in a bag.
Mm-hmm.
But you're all still gonna smell. Like they then go to a party. Like honestly, if you guys didn't all just
You
decide to
would
go to a
have
hotel,
had to go somewhere to shower.
that's the thing. Like all I could do for the rest of the
That
movie,
would have
I'm
killed
like,
sexy times.
100%.
Would be in your hair.
I'm like, your hair would be
Yeah.
smelling. You wouldn't be kissing. Like when they were like walking through, when they got to the hotel party, like I honestly thought
Everyone
this
else
was
would be
going
like,
to
oh, Jesus.
happen. Well, everyone was kind of drunk and strange
Yeah.
that by then, anyways, probably everyone smelled like sweat, but like puke is different. So anyway, but they're walking and it's kind of the slow motion scene, and they're walking down the hall and people are like partying and raving next to them, and they kind of look beat. Like they look beat, man. And I thought, oh, they're gonna go find a room and they're all
They're
gonna
just gonna
brush their
fall asleep,
teeth and
take
they're
a
gonna take
shower,
showers and
sleep.
like that's what they're gonna do. And I'm gonna love this.
Yeah.
And they don't. They all go straight on with their, all right, we're all gonna find our own sexy time rooms. Like it was a determined, I'm on a mission for sexy time room look, not a I am beat and I literally just need some hot water and some mouthwash. And so for me, I was just like, you guys just smell. I you guys just smell.
Well,
Can't get
yeah.
you all just really stink right now. And I'm like, oh, and and it's just I have so we just watched, this has nothing to do with anything, but this is where my mind goes. So we just watched Spectre for the first time.
That the Bond film?
Yes, because I need to watch them in order and we will only watch them when they're free. So we wait for them to come free. So Spectre's finally free. So now I just need to watch the one with Rami Malek and I'm all caught up.
What is the Daniel Craig ones is Casino Royale, then it was Quantum of Solace. What was the third one? I think Adele had the theme song. What was it?
There's Skyfall.
Skyfall.
Okay.
I saw Casino Royale and Skyfall. I didn't see the other.
So yeah, so anyway, so Spectre. And then
that was Adele who did the Skyfall song.
Adele did Skyfall.
Okay.
I don't know which one Billie Eilish did. I totally forget. I know Billie Eilish did a song though. Anyways,
I would have to guess Spectre.
No, she didn't. That was
Really?
Sam Smith. I was about to say Cook, and I'm like, nope.
Was there another Bond movie after that?
No. Yes. No Time to Die. Maybe that's the one that Billie Eilish did then. No Time to Die is the one that I haven't seen. It's the one with Rami Malek. The point is, at the beginning of Spectre, wonderful opening scene. Wonderful opening scene. It's one of those like they usually are, yeah. One of these one shot.
No time. How about that?
Culminates in him and his lady friend who he's with walking into the hotel room. She opens the door and turns around and takes off her like Dia de los Muertos mask, and he walks in behind her and takes off his mask, and then they come into their embrace, and you know the camera's doing this thing, and all I'm thinking is like, is someone gonna close that damn door?
Close it. Were you brought up in a barn?
So like I love the movies and I am suspension of disbelief, all these, but there are, I don't know what it is. Like there are some just such practical things. Like you vomit, I need to see you brush your teeth.
Yeah.
I need to see it. I need to see like you putting the toothbrush back in a holder or something, or you spitting out some gum. I need to see this thing.
I forget what movie it was. It was within like the last 2 years, but there was a movie where someone does not close the refrigerator door, and it bothered me throughout the entire goddamn.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that fridge is still standing open because he did not close the fridge door, and that's been bothering me this entire scene.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
Close
Yeah.
the fridge.
Yeah, it's just tiny little things, and they sit
You're gonna
there
have a
with
triple
me.
digit electricity bill. Close the goddamn fridge.
They just sit there with me, and I'm like, and they don't keep me from liking
Oh,
things.
no. I'm
But
not
it
like,
is,
oh, movie's ruined.
it's
I've got to make a
ruined.
6-hour live stream of me trashing the movie and then send mean comments to all the actors on Twitter.
No, I thought I really did though enjoy the quote unquote sex scene between Angelica and Chad. When
Oh, yeah.
it was so he's like, will you touch it? And she's like, mate. And she did, and she's like, oh, I don't like that. And he's like, oh, I really like that. But the thing that again, to the whole point at the beginning.
I love the beginning of the movie. It's like penises are weird. And it's like, I don't know about penises. They're all weird. And it's like, yeah, they are weird. I'm like, they are.
They are, that they
They're
are.
super weird.
That they are.
I honestly, I don't see the appeal. But I'm stuck with one. I don't really have a say in the matter.
No, you don't. There it is. But again, I enjoy very much that they ended that scene with laughter. Like from her too.
Rather than embarrassment or
Rather than like they still like
yeah,
there
no,
was a
trying.
yeah, or no, he wasn't embarrassed. She wasn't disgusted or even felt like violated.
Right.
Like that could like it just
You get a
like I
sense that
said,
these are all going to be fun stories that they retell each other.
and that's the thing that like somehow this movie really did a good job at setting up like some precarious situations, but they all like really did come out as like in a sweet sort of
Yeah, even
way.
the one character who decides to have sex, her review is, I mean, didn't last that long. It was actually kind of awkward, but you know, 2 thumbs up, I think.
Yeah, I will say actually like a true critique, not that we haven't actually been having true critiques.
Yeah. Here come the real critiques.
Okay, now that we've gotten the BS out of the way,
now the gloves come off.
So Chef, I did like Chef. I thought he was brilliantly cast. No idea who this child is.
No.
But I thought it was
I don't just make pot brownies. I make a gourmet brownies.
Yeah, right. So when she tells him, by the way, we're totally doing it later, and he's like,
okay,
perhaps, and she's like, no, perhaps, like this is happening. He's like,
mood is right.
Whatever happens will happen. And she's like, oh, and
yeah.
And it goes on for a moment, and he is very non-committal about it. It was a very strange scene for me. And I was like, I'm like, are they going to make him like gay or something? They better not, because we already have the gay female. So that'll be like a cop out on the other side to be like, like, I was like, okay, maybe they can just make him asexual, or they'll just take him down this druggy route. And it's like, that wasn't my plan tonight. I was just going to.
No, he's just super casual.
He's a super, but.
And not interested in pressuring anybody.
Right. But it was also because of how much she was like, yes, 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 yes. And he was like, the amount of we'll see almost made it feel like a no. I feel like they made that scene a little too long, because it almost made it feel like I'm trying to tell you no, and I just don't know how, because then at the end, he initiates. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, actually, no. And he's like, okay, that's fine. But like at the end, he kind of is like, all right, hey, the wind blew me there. So like, and that's the thing, is like, I get the idea that he's just like, look, I have no plans. And if that's your thing, that's great. If it becomes my thing, that's great. But it was just, I felt like it lingered too long, that it was one of those, look, bitch, I'm trying to tell you no.
Yeah.
And you're just not getting it. And then when he just went for it later, I was like, huh.
Yeah, it was a little uncomfortable here and there. Yeah.
But like, that's small potatoes. It just, but it's not a big deal. It all
But
worked
then you've
out
got great
just
scenes
fine.
like Leslie Mann desperately trying to get out of the room.
Oh my God. And then she does the tuck and roll.
And she does a ninja tuck and roll after she gets electrocuted behind
Electrocuted.
the television and faints
And
for like 10 seconds. She's like, shit.
she just goes, you hear a thud, and then like when she gets
Zap,
up, she's like,
thud.
she goes,
And she gets up off the floor and her hands are shaking a little bit.
she's so funny.
Yeah.
I really like her. But yeah, so when I watched it, Jeremy actually asked me,
I mean, she's so quintessentially mom in this movie. I'm surprised they didn't cast Judy Greer in this role.
I, yeah, but I'm glad you liked it. I thought it was very enjoyable. I was having a hoot watching it. I was like, this is just, it was nutty. It was nutty. There were nuts. They were grabbed. And that was a good segue. So thus ends Nutty November. Yay. But we're very excited because Nutty November may have ended, but you know what hasn't ended is movie mandates. So deep sigh of relief, hasn't ended. We continue in December with artsy fartsy movies. And Andrew, I'm super excited to hear what your mandated movie is.
Okay, so
I need a pen. I got it.
yes, because this artsy fartsy movie, of course, its title is not in English.
No, I would not have expected it to be.
All right, this is a film I saw a few years ago, and I've actually told you about it. I think we might have talked about it on monthly movie mini reviews back in the day.
Okay.
I mandate that we watch La Casa Lobo.
Yes.
So the English title would be The Wolf House, and this is the epitome of artsy fartsy. It is a movie that I would recommend everyone watch at least the first 5 minutes of, just so you can see it. It may not be your thing, you may not be into it, but I think you owe it to yourself to at least see what it is. I mean, at worst, you're going to say, well, that's pretty neat. Someone put a lot of time and effort. I don't give a damn, but someone was clearly very passionate about their specific vision for this, and I respect that. I don't want to watch another 65 minutes of this, but so yeah, La Casa.
So it's short.
Actually, I have no idea how long the movie is. It's not very long. Let's see what the runtime is. Does IMDb actually say the runtime? No, it doesn't. Let me look up on Just Watch. It is, let's see, hour and 15 minutes. So yeah.
Yeah, not long at all.
Yeah, and that's a good thing because it's narratively pretty light. It's more about the feeling and the experience. It's something that starts out, and after you start out first, it's like, oh, I see what they're doing here. I don't think I want to watch 75 minutes of this. It's like I get it. I don't need to see over an hour of this, but lest my memory's playing tricks on me, the movie keeps adding new twists, enough variations on the theme, enough new elements for me anyway, that I was engaged, enraptured even the entire way through.
Oh, I'm very excited. So
I'm really excited to see what your reaction to it is.
yes, I'm very excited. I do not recall the discussion we had on it. I do recall the first 5 minutes you mentioning this part of like, so you saying that, I'm like, oh yes, that rings some bells. So I'm excited. So now finally I am mandated to watch this. So thank gosh we have this
Yes,
podcast.
I've recommended, I've politely suggested, and now I mandate you watch this movie.
You're like, as a certain sometime you just gotta listen to your big brother, and then other times. All right, well, cool. I'm excited. So if you would like to watch La Casa Lobo as well, check out the description to see where it is currently streaming or available to rent. And until then, you can watch Movie Mandates with your little eyes or your big eyes. I don't know. I can't see you. You can watch it on YouTube or just listen to it in podcast form on iTunes. And hey, you can listen to it on YouTube too. You don't have to like have it on silent or anything, you know. To each his own, though. You know, maybe you just like to look at our pretty faces, and here you go. Here they are. But you know, if you enjoy the show and you want us to help reach a wider audience, engagement is key. So if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, and if you're listening on iTunes, rate and review. Oh, thank you so much. And with that, I'm Kelly, and you can follow me on Instagram at PomentoLivia, just the 10.
And you can follow me on Twitter at Andrew Eisen.
And we hope you've all enjoyed this episode of Movie Mandates, and we will be back soon with another mandated movie. Bye, everyone.
Bye.